great. But a lot of times they can go in one ear and out the other. People forget things that they hear, and even if they see them on camera. But if you're able to actually turn frameworks into visuals and infographics and use AI to do that, then you're kind of building on what you did previously and actually turning it into kind of really usable, hooky systems where the graphic itself translates the steps. So it feels more like a system and a process and not just some random, here's one thing to know and here's another thing to know. And I find a really good prompt for that is to say, I've got this framework methodology. Maybe it's got a name. It includes these 3 steps or these 5 components. Can you turn this into a visual model that I can use in a video or presentation? And you can even link up ChatGPT with Canva. So the two work together and you get all sorts of incredible images and things with that.
This is awesome. So number 2 is turn frameworks into visuals and infographics. I want to break this down piece by piece. First, let's just get on the same page. What's your definition of a framework? What do you mean when someone's teaching something in a YouTube video, in a course? What is a framework?
A framework is essentially a repeatable system or process or technique. It's a way to drive a result. So a lot of times, when you have tipsicles and tip videos and all of that, it's like tip 1, tip 2, tip 3. They don't relate to each other. They're just disconnected tips. And you kind of remember one and you forget the others, but a framework is turning them into an integrated system. So for example, a lot of times you put a framework inside of a particular shape, like a linear chevron, right? And a linear chevron is just a series of arrows that fit one next to each other. That's like a progressive process. You could also put it into a circular chevron, where the steps, you could start at any step, they build on each other, they repeat, they continue. It's cyclical. You can put it into pyramids, into Venn diagrams, a lot of different way to transform kind of ideas into information. And one of the most famous kind of examples of this is the Japanese ikigai. So the Japanese ikigai is a 1,000-year-old framework that says the reason why people in certain places in Japan live to be 100 is they found their ikigai, which translates to a meaning for being. And that's at the intersection of what they love, what comes naturally and easily to them, what is going to make the world a better place, and what they can get paid for. Now, this kind of philosophy had been around for 1,000 years, but then this Spanish guy heard it and put it into a, Venn diagram, 4 overlapping circles. All of a sudden it went viral, went across the internet, went into like every country around the world. And this 1,000-year-old philosophy had a renaissance and a reemergence, and everyone was talking about it. Books got written about it. All sorts of stuff happened once it was put into the framework. Same thing happened with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the great psychological framework in the pyramid structure. So a lot of times, turning something into a shape, a visual, a framework takes information and adds a level of depth and meaning and relationship to it that makes it memorable and shareable.
It's beautiful. And, I think that this breaks down a couple really actionable insights for our listeners. And that is, first and foremost, if you want to stand out more on social